Guys, we have to talk about this. D.B. Weiss and David Benioff no longer doing the Star Wars trilogy, their Star Wars trilogy. It has been canceled. Woo!
Did they not like it?
I mean, oh, no. Wait, what? It's all three reactions in one.
Right.
What? Yeah!
I'm confused.
Oh, no. So let's go through all three of those reactions, right? So first off, and then breaking news, we've got a fourth reaction, exclusive Game of Thrones prequel pilot starring Naomi Watts not going forward at HBO. Officially, Game of Thrones prequel canceled. Woo! Wait, what? Wait, was it that bad? So the sky is falling for David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, all the stuff that they've been attached to. It serves you right. It serves you right. Here's the angry rant part.
years.
Joe. Here's the angry rant part. You go and you fuck up Game of Thrones season 8 and arguably season 7, a little bit of season 6. And you do that and you shorten it. You literally exit. And they run away from it, running towards Star Wars. Well, we got to go. We got to wrap this up. Come on. We got to go to Star Wars.
What else can we destroy?
They go to Star Wars. They get them all going on a trilogy. And there's rumors that it might be what I've always wanted, the freaking Old Republic era. And now they're canceling that. So They wrapped up Game of Thrones, ruined Game of Thrones so they can run over and ruin Star Wars. Then now they're going to run over and they've got this big deal. Why is this happening? They've got a big deal with Netflix and they say they have no time. There's not enough hours in the day to work on their Star Wars to then also concentrate on Netflix. What the fuck? Then why did you take the Netflix deal? You left Game of Thrones to go to Star Wars. And now you're leaving Star Wars to go to or Netflix. It makes no sense.
They're just trying to see where they can fuck up and make more money?
Well, fucking good. Because, or either that, there's many possibilities here, and we'll talk about all these possibilities, Joe. Maybe Star Wars realized that these guys are hacks. And
that's what I was thinking, too. It's like, this is what we want. It's like, no, that's trash. He's like, take it or leave it. Nope, we're leaving.
No, we're leaving.
That was good.
Netflix.
Good thing you fucking left because we didn't like this at all.
Yeah, I'm glad
we're
that
not
you fucking
pushing
left.
this through.
Right? So some people will say, okay, so the possibilities are they actually got fired and this is just PR stuff and they're like, we quit or we can't have time to it. Or they legitimately are trying to do the right thing and says, I can't concentrate on Star Wars and Netflix. And Netflix, honestly, is paying us a lot of money and more money than Star Wars. And guess what? Disney didn't lock us on a deal. Disney's not paying us what we think we're worth. So we have to go with one. And if we're going with one, we're going with Netflix. Could be that. Or the third thing, and I'm trying to speculate, you either get fired, you either quit, or that's it.
Yeah,
you either get fired or you quit. I don't know, right? Okay, so, but here's why I think that they just straight up quit. Because if they got fired, then the quotes from Kathleen Kennedy would not be leaving the door open. You know, what was that guy, Colin, there was a guy who got fired from Han Solo, the previous Han Solo director. Not just one director that got off Han Solo. No, it was Rogue Story. Colin Trevorrow. No, shit. Yeah. Colin Trevorrow left Star Wars Episode 9, which would become Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, and was quickly replaced by J.J. Abrams. The same thing happened with Solo. They had two, younger guys, and they replaced him, with an industry veteran. And, in that sense, they never said to those guys, well, you guys can come back whenever you're done focusing on Netflix or whatever. No, they didn't say nothing. They said, get the fuck out the door. And they hired somebody else. But here, when you read this article, Kathleen Kennedy is so nice to them and is leaving the door wide open to them. And I don't really know why. But anyway, let's read it. So, they have walked away from their much publicized deal. This is so embarrassing for Disney. In fact, this is yet another fuck up I think, from Kathleen Kennedy. If Disney really wanted these guys to work on the trilogy, why didn't they lock them down? Why didn't they give them an exclusive deal? Why didn't they pay them more? No, instead Netflix comes in from under Disney and sweeps them out. Now, it might end up dodging a bullet for us as fans.
Possibly, yeah.
Because I don't know if these guys have the writing talent. You know, what have they done? Well, they've adapted Game of Thrones. But that's easy. You got the thing outlined for you, right? And then when there was no more book material, it started to fall off.
You could definitely tell. It's like, what's going on here? But last episode, what happened to the lore? No, you're gonna fuck it up. Cool. Got
Exactly. And if
that's
you
all we
actually
want.
look in and you see, well, what else have David Benioff written? You go to IMDb. Well, guess what he did, Joe? He was responsible
Pumpkinhead.
for Pumpkinhead. No, he
No.
did Troy, which I actually liked, but that was
the Gemini,
only.
Yeah, we remember
But
the Gemini
Wolverine
man.
Origins, the worst Wolverine, and Gemini Man.
Yeah, I remember. Alex
Only one
saying that.
episode of Sunny Philadelphia because they really liked it. I have no idea how he snuck in there. He went in through
Right.
the back, Joe.
I need to
'Cause that's a good series, right?
It
You
is.
tell me
I
that's a good
love it.
series. So he just doesn't have the writing confidence and that I would trust him with it. But anyway, they were supposed to usher in a post-Skywalker. This is a huge, colossal disaster for Disney because their trilogy was supposed to be next, Joe. This trilogy's like 3 years away, 2022. So they will have already started, production or pre-production rather, and story. And these guys want to straight up and leave. And they said their
got more
enthusiasm
money.
for Star Wars remains boundless. Really? You're gonna say no to Star Wars, creating your own Star Wars, your own unique Star Wars, which people would die and give anything to do, and you're gonna go to Netflix? Really? I don't believe that. We love Star Wars, but we love money
More.
and betraying people more, betraying fan bases more. When George Lucas built it, he built us too. Really? Then why aren't you doing a Star Wars? Getting to talk about Star Wars with him and the current Star Wars team was the thrill of a lifetime, and we will always be indebted to the saga that changed everything. So they were talking about it
It's
with
just
a
weird,
team
though.
and
George
with
Lucas
George
built
Lucas.
it. And he built this too, kind of like
He built us, meaning like our
Jar Jar Binks, most hated. So they're about the same tier. They're both hated.
Yeah. Okay, you're saying George Lucas built some of them in the bad way instead of the
Yeah.
good way, like of the original trilogy. But so that was supposed to be the next one, and Kathleen Kennedy has plenty of other Star Wars projects on there, but she didn't close the doors. This is the most interesting part. David Benioff and Dan Weiss are incredible storytellers.
This is definitely PR speak.
Yes, there's no way. You mean George R. Martin is an incredible storyteller, and they are incredible adaptors up until when they need to finish it, right? We hope to include them in the journey forward when they are able to step away from their busy schedules so that they can focus on Star Wars, This seems to me like they fucked it up. They didn't lock them down. Netflix locked them down, paying them way more money, and they're like, you work on our stuff exclusively. And DB goes, oh, Lucas, we really wanted to, we pay us more? No, you're not going to pay you more. Okay, well, but we still want to do it. So maybe they're actually still going to work with them, right? Well, why would they cancel it then? They wouldn't say delay.
Are they going to rush the Netflix stuff so they can get that over with
Right.
and move on to the Star Wars?
So they're going to ruin the
Netflix is like, you
Netflix
fucking
stuff,
ruined
too.
this.
Right. I have no idea why this is just, but this is so, so open doors from Kathleen. And maybe that's just like her trying to save face because it's pretty embarrassing for her. But this is a huge, like I said, fizzle ending for a Firecracker Fuse headline when the deal was announced. But they lost some luster because they fucked up Game of Thrones. In the end, it appears like it was time, not talent, and that was it. There are only so many hours in the day, they said. We felt we could not do justice to both Star Wars and our Netflix projects because they're doing multiple projects.
Yeah.
And so we are regretfully stepping away. Now, what does that mean for the Star Wars universe? So at first, I want to celebrate. Because good, fuck them. Honestly, after what they did to Game of Thrones, I don't think they
Wolverine.
deserved. And Wolverine and Gemini Men. No, I just don't think they deserved to have their own trilogy. And maybe, like you said, Joe, maybe Disney was seeing some of their stuff and they didn't like it. Or maybe Disney was seeing, here's the third option, I just thought of it. Disney was seeing their stuff, but they want to change some stuff around, and they were like, no, stop changing stuff around. This is the way we want it. Creative control. Okay, you're not giving us creative control. Fuck it. We're going to focus on Netflix. And then they left. But either way, they left, and they quit. And they did not get fired because Kathleen Kennedy's leaving the door wide open for them to come back. Now, why I'm depressed, why I'm sad a little bit by this news is I honestly think they were the ones that were going to do the Old Republic. The time of hundreds of Jedi, hundreds of
would
Sith,
you want something
thousands
terrible,
of Sith,
though?
thousands of Jedi.
But you wouldn't have wanted something terrible
Right.
at the same time.
I was,
So-
you know, we'll never know. We'll never know whether what they do is terrible. I mean, we have history of them doing terrible stuff, but we have history of them doing good stuff. But how much of it was, you know, George R. R. Martin and how much of it was them, I guess we may never know. I think there's a small outside chance, 10, 20% chance they'll come back later. And Disney's saving the Old Republic trilogy for them. And I hope that's not the case. I hope Disney just straight replaces them with a different
Somebody
director.
else, yes.
But who do they have? Who does Disney have that's rock solid that could do Star Wars justice? Right now, J.J. Abrams is the only one that, you know, don't. And here's another thing, Joe. Just realized. Ryan Johnson's sitting there.
He turns his chair.
Yeah, my
I knew
phone's
you'll
going-
be back.
My phone is ringing because now Kathleen has so
No.
much confidence and love for Ryan Johnson that she just gave him a whole trilogy. And then it kind of seemed, is it going to happen? He says it's still going to happen. We're just working out things, and it's going to take a while, and it won't be the next trilogy. Does this mean that Ryan Johnson steps into that hole and his trilogy now comes first? And no.
How would
no,
you-
No, no.
How
You
would you
fucked
go
up
back
original.
to that once
know.
you see all the backlash from The Last Jedi?
Exactly. It's Kathleen Kennedy, man. I think she's making terrible decisions, and if it's not her, then they need to come out and explain it. I mean, the only solid things that have come out really is, you know, J.J. Abrams, I feel, it did a solid job with The Force Awakens. It played it way too safe, but it still was like a reboot for the next generation, and it was all right. The Last Jedi fight was better than The Last Jedi, and they screwed up. And now this last one, can J.J. fix it? We'll see. And then maybe they'll
enough
try to
time,
offer
but
it to J.J. And
try.
J.J.'s one of those guys that's like, he's so busy, and I think he only stepped in because they brought him a truck of money, and he had to. I don't think he has the fandom in him to, like, do a whole new trilogy, right? So they can't really go to J.J. I think they should go to Dave Filoni, who, you know, of Star Wars, you know, Clone Wars fame, and maybe Rebels, integrate some of the director, or actually find talent in The Mandalorian, because The Mandalorian has various directors. It could also be that Kevin Feige, remember Marvel, he was talking about how much he loves Star Wars.
I was gonna say something. I forgot his name from Marvel.
Yeah,
He
he's
did
but
some
he's
jobs,
so
but-
busy with the entire. He's like the guy in charge of everything now at Marvel, not just movies, but comics and Marvels and movies and everything. Is he gonna have time to do a Star Wars trilogy and pick up the pieces after the Game of Thrones writers? I don't think so. He might be able to contribute story wise or producing wise,
Well,
and
it's
that
time
might
for you
help.
to step up. Bam.
Here,
Director.
I'll put together an Avengers team. I'll get Star Wars Theory, get Star Wars Explain. I'll get everybody who's a Star Wars fan.
Send them your script.
We'll come up with a script and send it to them, and it'll be the best Star Wars ever. No, I don't know. It's kind of wide open right now, and until we get that next news story of what's next, Really, Disney has to fall back on their Disney Plus service. Luckily, The Mandalorian is looking good. Luckily, they got Obi-Wan coming, and we'll see what they announce next, whether it be Han Solo for Disney Plus or Darth Maul for Disney Plus, or whether it's the Rian Johnson trilogy pushed forward. My ideal situation is replace D.B. Weiss and with new directors,
Yes.
new writers.
So if you
And
hear
keep that the
Rian
next
Johnson,
trilogy.
it's going to be an angry rant.
Yeah. And the Angry Rant's probably coming up next, guys. But we had to do it. We're big Star Wars fans. Don't care how many views this gets. I know some of you love Star Wars as much as I do, and we like to talk about some of this major news. And since this ties into content we've done with Game of Thrones and how obliterated we were and how upset we were, I'm happy they're gone, but worried that we won't get the Old Rebublic trilogy until they come back. Or we won't get it at all, and Disney will just go with Rian Johnson's new visions. And God help
They
me,
need to
what
find
those visions
somebody
are.
else that's
More like Rian
passionate
Johnson's
about
new
it.
nightmares. Am I right? All right, guys. You let me know what you think about this news.
And who they should try to get, huh?
Who should they get? I think we can all agree that it's good that they exit, okay? Because I don't think they deserved it, right?
And Ryan should not come back. We can't agree on that.
Right. So we can agree on that. But I think we can also agree that we all wanted an Old Republic, and we still want that to be next.
Yeah.
Who would you get? JJ, Dave, somebody from the Mandalorian's director suite, somebody that we don't know about? Let us know in the comments. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show.
Bye guys.